Hey, my name's Leslie Morris, and for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to be talking to you about cult movies. In particular, ones in which a character from one movie meets or fights a character from another, such as Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein, or Alien versus Predator. I really like these films because they basically match up two people that probably aren't going to like each other, and you get to sit back and watch the fireworks. Now, the first major monster movie face-off was in 1943's Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. This movie picks up where the previous film, The Ghost of Frankenstein, finished. Bela Lugosi and Lon Chaney Jr. respectively reprise their roles as Frankenstein's monster and the Wolfman. The two monsters don't really meet until the last few moments of the film. While their fight is brief, the movie is fun nonetheless and is well worth checking out. Dracula, the Wolfman, and Frankenstein's monster would meet up two more times. Next, in the completely unwatchable House of Frankenstein. That movie is so bad. And a year later in House of Dracula. The 1950s had a lot of monster face-offs. In this time period, there were two primary ass-kickers, Godzilla and Santo. Now, I think we all know who Godzilla is. He's best known for his fights against King Kong, Mechagodzilla, and Bambi. Sadly, Godzilla is retired now, but can you blame the brother? The guy fought for 50 years straight, in 28 films. His last fight was in 2004, in Godzilla Final Wars. This film basically brings every monster he's ever faced off against in one big final fight that takes place across the entire world. Look out for the scene in which Godzilla annihilates the terrible American CGI Godzilla. This movie is worth checking out, along with the original Japanese version of the first Godzilla film and Destroy All Monsters. Up next is El Santo. Santo was a luchador, which is a masked Mexican wrestler. He appeared in over 50 films. In that time, he drop-kicked pretty much anything, from gangsters to space aliens to witches to zombies to vampires. My favorite Santo film was the one in which he fought Nazis in the underwater world of Atlantis. Dracula also loves a good fight. He'll pretty much fight anyone. In the past, he's fought Billy the Kid, Bonnie and Clyde, Frankenstein's monster, and the Flintstones. Well, actually, Rockula fought the Flintstones, but let's not get too technical. He's even fought Batman twice. The first time was in an unofficial Filipino film. The second time was in an animated feature film. Dracula even likes to fight obscure pop culture characters like Killer Barbie and Emmanuel. Now, if you have no idea who those two people are, don't worry. You can live a long and healthy life without ever knowing. Now, the most common type of fight movie involves giant animals, and when I say giant animals, I really mean reptiles, such as boa versus python, Komodo versus cobra, and mega shark versus giant octopus. I like it better when the animals have dinosaur DNA in them, such as Dino Croc versus Super Gator, and the upcoming mega shark versus Crocosaurus. These films really have no rules and can take place in any genre. Zombie vs. Ninja is not surprisingly a martial arts film. Billy the Kid meets Dracula is a western. One of my favorite meetups is Lady Chatterley vs. Fanny Hill. This film is unusual due to the fact that Chatterley and Hill are both literary characters. Lady Chatterley was the main character in D.H. Lawrence's Lady Chatterley's Lover, while Fanny Hill originated in the 1748 novel Memoirs of a Woman of Pleasure. Now, I'm sure the original audience didn't pick up on these literary references, considering the movie is softcore porn. Now, Fanny Hill isn't one to lay down. Despite being fictitious, she has no problem interacting with real-life characters. 2 years before Lady Chatterley, she had a run-in with the Red Baron, and Fanny Hill meets the Red Baron. Now, if you think that's an odd meetup, I've got one to end with that is way more bizarre. In 1966, Jesse James met Frankenstein's daughter. How did that happen? Why did that happen? Now, granted, the guy who directed this film, the year before, directed a film called Billy the Kid Meets Dracula. So why on earth didn't they make a sequel in which Billy the Kid met Frankenstein? Why was it the lesser-known Jesse James? Why was it Frankenstein's daughter? You know, I guess we'll never know. Okay, I'm out of here. Next week, we're going to be looking at the strange and unusual world of 80s Turkish rip-off films.